Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
Double game day for Duck men's and women's basketball. Women's basketball on the road today. A 3:30 pregame on a 4 o'clock tip. Chris Clayton's got the call for you. Also, men's basketball at home tonight. 7:30 pregame. 8 o'clock is when things will tip off against Wisconsin. Myself and Luke Jackson will be there. I'm Joey Mack. Ryan Milano's here as well in the Country Financial Studio because I've got to get over to the aforementioned men's basketball game, which means that Ryan's going to take you through a lot of the show today, including some preview with Dana Altman, the Oregon men's basketball head coach, meeting with the media. And also, we've got some Oregon softball at home. We've got Oregon baseball to get ready for. A number of Oregon sports. Congratulations are in order again to Kiara Romero. Broke the program record for individual wins. Congratulations to Kiara Romero from Oregon women's golf, as a lot of spring sports are ramping up now into what is soon to be the conference season, if you can believe it. Oregon baseball's only got one more weekend of non-conference games before we start talking about Big Ten conference play. Speaking of that, Jess Drummond, head coach, Oregon women's lacrosse, will be with us here in the Country Financial Studio coming up next segment. We've got a lot to cover. I mentioned Ryan was here, and Ryan is going to take you the entirety of the show, and I just want to plant a seed, and we'll see if Ryan is in fact going to see this tree grow this year. I asked a very important question to a baseball player today. And I'd be curious, how fast do you think you can go on a scooter?
Great question. Is it one of the electric scooters?
I guess I should clarify. Yes.
Because I don't think it really changes.
How fast are you?
I think it's more of like an equipment issue. Like it's the brand of scooter that takes you as fast as possible. What's my budget?
I don't know. How fast are you comfortable going on a scooter?
That's a different question. I'm a slow type of guy. I like to keep it slow and steady. I go safe over the bumps.
This man ran 17 miles today. I don't think he needs a scooter.
Thanks, Joey.
Good work.
Training for the Eugene Marathon.
I know. Yeah, we've got a baseball broadcast upcoming where Ryan will have run the Eugene Marathon in the morning, and then we'll be on the air for an 11:45 pregame show.
Yeah, you'll be on the air for an 11:45 pregame show. I might make it by first pitch.
Men's basketball tonight, women's basketball tonight. We've got Katie Fiso coming up, sitting down with Chris Clayton. And for Oregon men's basketball, look, I mean, nice to see the guys smiling again. A little bit of momentum. And you talk about a USC team that the Ducks might have knocked out of the NCAA tournament if it started today with that loss to Oregon. Well, Wisconsin might be in a similar boat. They're not a bubble team like USC was. You never know what's going to happen. And I think Coach Altman would tell you, and he's going to tell you here coming up from the podium, that, well, you might as well swing away, huh? Coach Altman meeting with the media, getting ready for Wisconsin tonight at 8 o'clock.
Nice clean ride back. I guess what were the takeaways from the win on Saturday?
All the guys felt good. That was the biggest thing. Made some plays down the stretch, and KJ hit a big shot, and Nate hit a couple big free throws. So, they felt good, and it's kind of a long time coming, us, making some plays down the stretch and finishing one like that, but it really felt good.
Steve, what do you think it says about that character of this team that they still got that fight after it's been such a long year?
Yeah, no, like I said, I think Nate's a big part of that. Him coming back and fighting his injuries kind of uplifted everybody. So, I think a lot of credit goes to him, but all the guys have tried to keep their heads up. It's difficult when you go into a year with expectations like we always do, and you obviously fall short of those expectations. It wears on everybody. And but the guys have done a great job, coming to practice. We had a good practice yesterday. So, they've tried to keep their heads up and tried to keep working hard.
You talked about just wanting to see the guys be able to enjoy themselves just a little bit. Obviously, it's a bottom line game. It's about winning and losing. But what was it like for you to see them get to enjoy a little bit of success, given what they've been going through?
Well, as a coach, you want to be hard on them. You want to push them. But, the bottom line is you want them to have a good time. You want them to enjoy the experience. And, usually, pushing them and being hard on them translates into some wins, and then when it doesn't, it does take the fun out of it. But again, to see them in the locker room, everybody smiling, it was good, and again, that's, as a coach, you want them to enjoy it. It's their passion, it's their love. You want them to enjoy the experience. And, Peyton was in the locker room afterwards, and, you just want him to enjoy it like he did, but he put a lot into it, and what you put into it is usually what you get out of it.
You mentioned pretty recently that you wanted to see your team get to the line a little bit more. How much of that did you see against USA?
Well, I thought we threw it inside. KJ, got 13 free throws. The most important thing, the second half, we hit them. We were 12 of 13. First half, we didn't shoot them good. Second half, we were 12 of 13. The one we missed, we got back and hit a three. So 15 points on 13 free throws. We'll take that any night.
You said earlier, building around KJ, Nate, Jackson. KJ's been the guy, I think, consistently here this season. How do you feel like his growth individually has progressed? And, it's forced him into some different positions and roles for you guys, but just his growth from in year 3.
Yeah, no, he's been a little up and down, but he needs to get a little stronger, for a few finishes inside. The first half, he had some really good opportunities that he didn't finish. But no, he's been the one guy that's, I think he missed one game is all, which, he was sick against UCLA at UCLA. But other than that, he's suited up. He had a tight hamstring the other night, and he played through that. So, no, I think he's done a tremendous job. The exciting thing is there's so much more there for KJ, with a little more hip strength and lower body strength and playing the game just a little lower. I think he could really be explosive and make even more plays. So, no, I really thankful that, he stayed healthy and he's done a good job for us.
What sort of challenge does Wisconsin present for you guys?
Well, their bigs shoot it, which will stretch the floor on us quite a bit. Boyd's, his performance against Iowa was off the charts. He almost had a triple-double. He's explosive and, gets to his spots with that left hand. I mean, he does a great job. So, no, they're playing really good. Gone on the road and had a couple big road wins. So we know we'll have to play really well. We got to get on the boards, and control the boards. USC rebounded well against us the second half, which I think put us in a tough spot. Got to handle the ball a little better than what we've been handling. Our turnovers against USC almost didn't give us an opportunity to win the game. So we got to handle the ball. We got to out-rebound them. But again, they present a lot of problems. Very talented team. Their roles are well established, and everybody knows what their job is. And, they've maintained their rotation and they're playing pretty good.
What are the challenges of guarding a team with 2 guards that can go for 20 any kind of night?
Presents a big problem. Again, I mentioned the bigs, so you don't have that rim protection when those guys get going downhill. Winter's popping out, they're popping out, and so you don't have guys at the basket to contend when Boyd and Blackwell get going downhill. So, yeah, no, presents a big problem. Those two guards scoring a lot of points, playing a lot of minutes for them. And, with their big spread in the floor like that, it creates a lot of opportunities.
You guys have had a couple different types of stretches where you needed to put together 7 points in a minute to win a game, but haven't. What was different about Saturday?
Oh, just made a big play. We had an opportunity against Purdue, and missed a couple shots. We're down 6, and KJ hits a basket going to the, hits kind of a runner going to the basket, finishes that. Missed the free throw, and he gets after it, keeps it alive. Drew picks it up, kicks it to TK, and TK makes a hell of a play, drive and kick to KJ for an open 3, inside out 3. So, and KJ hit it. We had 2 or 3 really good looks against Purdue, that would have given us a 4-point lead under a minute, and we missed them. Sometimes it's just, making a play. And KJ made 2 big ones there, and then, not to underestimate, Nate hit 2 pressure-packed free throws. And so he went and got the inbounds play that we set up. He went and got the ball and got fouled and hit both free throws. So, KJ and Nate, they made big plays down the stretch, and we got to stop. We gave up an offensive rebound there that I thought was going to cost us, but he missed the putback, and Nate got the rebound. So we got to stop when we had to.
Now, you guys had plenty of time to reflect kind of throughout the course of this season. You had a chance to reflect on yourself as a coach. Going into the offseason, what's an area of focus for you guys so you don't replicate a season like this next year?
Well, there's a lot of things. We'll evaluate. We had a lot of injuries this year. We'll evaluate our off-season strength and conditioning program. Although a broken hand and sprained ankles, torn labrum, shoulder injury, those things, they happen. A groin injury to Dev, may be the only one that, we really got to check, conditioning, and did we do something, those muscle injuries like that. But a shoulder injury, a broken hand, ankles, we invested in a lot of things to help our ankle strength and that. So we just got to continue to do that. But we'll check that out. Obviously, we'll check our recruiting. It's a different day. Basically buying players. Going through agencies. It's not the same as it was. So, I've got to do a better job of evaluating and making sure the pieces fit. Obviously, the injuries, not as much control on that, but we have to do a great job of not only getting the first unit, but if something happens to our point guard, then, we maybe didn't back ourselves up as well as we needed to. So, getting a top 10 or so that, are ready to go. And we really went from a very experienced team. If you look at our top 9 a year ago, we had a lot of 5th-year seniors, a lot of guys who had played. And, our top 10 this year, we didn't have that same experience, So I think that's something we really got to look at.
Does Dez have a medical waiver to apply for the injury last year?
Yeah. No, he'll have another year. Yeah.
You look at that for Jackson as well?
We'll try. He a couple games over, but definitely try to get him another year.
Yeah, so the Ducks are hopeful that some of those injuries may lead to extra years of eligibility for some guys like Jackson Shellstad, Devon Pryor. Coach Altman met with the media there. Getting ready for tonight against Wisconsin, 7:30 pregame show here on the Oregon Sports Network. Coming up, Ryan and I are going to change places, and Jess Drummond is here. We're going to chat with the Oregon Lacrosse head coach in the Country Financial Studio. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
If you build a relationship, then it becomes easier. If you build trust, it becomes easier. As a parent, you want what's best for your child. To give them the love that a child needs is probably the best you can do for a teenager.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread while you're off through this wayward sun? I left my heart in Oregon.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joined by Jess Drummond in the Country Financial Studio. What's up, Coach?
Not much. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Much like you, I feel a lot better. The show is easier to do, right, when there's wins. And you want to win every game.
I want to win every game.
We get it. You want to win every game. Sometimes it doesn't go that way. And now it's a week like that, right?
Yeah.
So how did your team handle that? When you have a couple losses, you never want to lose. How did your team handle their first loss of the season?
Yeah, I think, it's great to see them care so much. They're so passionate. Everyone's so passionate. Nobody wants to lose. I think they talk a lot about how they hate losing more than they love winning, and that's just a thing. I'm like, great. I love to hear that. Like, you're competitive, you're driven, you want to bounce back. And I think having that loss against Sunday was a big eye-opener for us, and we've made practices far more intense, creating game situations where there's a lot at stake, and there's a lot of chaos. There's a lot of intensity and high-pressure moments where they have to feel that pressure in a game like it was on Sunday where, they might have gone into that thinking that they should just get the win, and that's not how it's going to work on game day.
It's good. It's an interesting point, though, about, like, the response following a loss, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lesson to be learned in that,
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Totally, and I think it's awesome. Like, I just love our culture of our team, and I'll say that to, like, throughout the rest of the season. Like, our captains met with us on Tuesday, and they're like, this is on us. Like, we've had a great game plan, we've got a great execution, and we just need to, like, do our job. And I was like, yeah, you guys can, and you will. And so this week at practices, we had an awesome practice yesterday. We were off on Monday, which I think was a much-needed off day for everyone to just kind of reset. Yep, take some time. I do the same, and just refocus the rest of the week to get a win on Saturday.
Do you find that after losses, like, I know you want to win, and like you want to learn from a win as much as you do from a loss,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get punched in the gut a little bit with a loss, right? And
two times in a week.
But I'd imagine, as difficult as that is, I'd imagine that is a bit of a wake-up call for young people, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you can't, and I think it's such a great lesson, and I think about this a lot, and with a lot of reflection of some of the best seasons I had as a player, other programs have had, other coaches come with gut punches, and then you end the season strong. Like, and I'm great friends with the Cal coach, and she's like, I hope that loss gets you the best Big Ten wins this season. And I was like, that's an amazing thing to say to a coach after a game. Like,
that's very nice.
It's so nice. And I'm like, yeah, I hope so too. And I think that's a great wake-up call of, like, we are better than how we've been playing on game day, and it's been pretty consistent for us. So finding ways to be our best when the pressure is high, when the moments count the most.
I also feel like probably during that handshake and the conversation, it's like, yeah, but we really wanted to beat beat you.
Yeah,
you know.
I do.
But that's part of the competitive spirit.
Yes, exactly,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Jess Drummond joining us. Okay, talking about the week that was, I was curious about, there's a focus on a goal being scored, right? And I think sometimes we forget. I'm guilty of this in basketball. I don't always say who gets the assist on the play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how big of a deal is that in with your team right now? Like, you think about the ball movement, as we say, on offense. Break it down for fans.
Yeah, we talk a lot as a staff, especially Theo with running the offense, is that we're not outcome driven. It's doing the right thing throughout those moments, seeing what's in front of you, and that everybody is a part of the play to make that goal happen. And, we've just been that kind of way since we've been here. That's our philosophy. That's how we run. And it's not going to be like you're going to score all the goals and you're going to be all the assists. It's going to be make sure everyone's a threat out there so it's not super scoutable.
You talk about the bounce back after a loss now. Is it nice to be back at home?
Yeah.
You like to be at home?
I do, but I like to win at home more.
No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. UC Davis coming into town,
Yes.
a team that you're
Yes.
familiar with
Yes.
from the previous conference era. Nice to have them on the schedule again, I'd imagine.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely excited to play them.
What's the breakdown? What do we know about the Aggies?
Oh, gosh, they're just a gritty team. They always have been. They do a great job with that program. She just instills this never stop believing, and I just love that. And her team will fight from the start of the game to the end of the game. Like, you just see it in kind of their conference and how their season's gone so far. And they kept it close with USC. They just beat Cal. So they're on a hot streak, and we need to stuff that out real fast.
Well, you said like they just beat Cal. There is some common opponent there right now as you do the scout.
Right, totally.
That's interesting. And then you have a bit of a unique situation where UC Davis and Delaware State will play Monday, and then Delaware State plays here next Wednesday. So inside the broadcast, we already talked about this. Jess is going to be on next Wednesday. That's when we talk, or no, I should say Thursday, because you're playing on Wednesday.
Yes.
That's kind of a cool scenario where you have these neutral sites on your field, right?
It really helps getting teams to come out here and play us. It's the best.
That's
Love
huge.
It is huge. And I'm like, great, let's get a couple games in a weekend, host some teams.
Is that difficult to schedule? Like, how do you go about that as a coach in the offseason?
Yeah, it is.
It is.
To be honest, yeah,
it's
really
just
hard.
difficult. Yeah,
like,
I get it.
Who wants to come to Eugene, Oregon and play just one Division I school out here?
Right.
Yeah. So it's really enticing to have a couple games. I helped get FDU to San Diego, so that helps having those games down there. So just trying to get more strategic on how we can get multiple games in a weekend.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right. Talking about bouncing back after a loss. So what are some of your focuses this week in practice? You mentioned like the pressure of a game situation. How do you create that in practice?
More competitive consequences of winning and losing. Like we did a lot of drills yesterday. You only get 3 balls. That's really an opportunity to score. Are you going to win? Or are you going to lose? Defense, can you shut them down for 3 balls, or how's that going to work? And so we did a lot of competitive drills yesterday. We'll do a little bit more similar today with kind of tying in our scout within those drills as well.
No, we've talked a lot about how the scout is so important, right, in your sport and to your team. And I bet after a loss, how much do they look inward with a self-scout after a loss?
I mean, I cut that game the most I've ever cut a game ever.
Did you really?
I was like, here's a clip. There's probably over 100 clips. And I just tagged everyone. I was like, watch your clips, read my notes. I'll see you on Tuesday.
And then what'd they say Tuesday?
They're like, we agree. And I was like, I know. Whatever I'm putting in there's not new. I just need them to know, like, I am also seeing this. I want you to recognize you're better than how you're playing, and you can do this more often.
And there's ebbs and flows to a season.
Yes, of course.
Right?
I'm not going to do that every game. I'm like, no, this is a wake-up call. You guys, you can play better than you played, and I've seen it every day in practice, and so that's the most, disappointing thing as a coach. Like, you can't go out there and do it yourself. You see them do this work and put in the work and do all the right things in practice. Then come game day, it's like this kind of like freeze panic. I'm like, no, stay calm, stay confident. And so that's where I want to put some more pressure on them in practices, so it feels harder in practice than it does on game day.
That's interesting because it is different when the lights go on, as we say, right? Like,
yeah,
I know every coach wants it to be, no, practice is exactly the same, but like it does change, right?
It does change, and I'm a Gemini. I talk about this a lot. Like, I like change. I like to adjust. I like to adapt. Like, you can't be content in the same structure of how things are going. Things are going to change. They're going to throw you curveballs. How are you going to adapt to that? And I think that's big on trying to teach this team that things are going to go different on game day. Right. Another team's going to show up, and they might beat you to a ground ball, but that's okay. You can fight for the next one.
Right. And then you're going to have to make some adjustments probably throughout the course of a game. Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
All right, some keys to success. What's going to take for your team to be successful here coming up?
Thriving in high-pressure moments. Like, UC Davis is going to come swinging, and we have to just stay calm, collected, and connected. And, take advantage of our moments when we're out on that field.
Noon on Saturday, UC Davis at Pape Field, and then Delaware State next Wednesday at noon. Oregon lacrosse season continues. Coach Drummond, thank you for always taking the time.
Always.
We
I have
appreciate
such a
it.
fun time here. It makes my Wednesday.
We almost knocked over the cowboy hat.
Whoa.
But I don't know if the cowboy hat would even work for you, but eventually.
Not with this hair.
I don't know. It's a tall enough hat.
It is. Yeah, you're right. That's
it might
probably
just rest. Any word on the scrunchie giveaway?
I don't know. I do you have word? I feel like you would know more than I would.
We're efforting.
The fight stays on. Get the scrunchies.
It's going to happen.
believe
Jess
it.
Drummond and Oregon lacrosse back in action on Saturday at noon. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Timeout. When we come back, getting ready for a number of basketball games tonight. Katie Fiso hearing from her next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Let's take a moment to breathe. Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Remain focused on what you're doing. If safe to do so, exhale slowly, leaning to one side. Inhale back to center. If safe to do so, exhale slowly to the opposite side. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna take my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now. Don't forget to say you will. Don't forget to say yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm in this chair now. Ryan Milano with you on Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union, ahead of what is a Oregon basketball doubleheader. The women on the road against Purdue, a 4 o'clock tip, a 3:30 pregame show on the Oregon Sports Network coming up in just a few moments. Also, Oregon men's basketball tonight at Matthew Knight Arena against Wisconsin, an 8 o'clock tip and a 7:30 pregame show. Got a little preview from Dana Altman earlier in the show. Now a preview with Chris Clayton with one of Oregon's star guards. Katie Fiso has taken a big jump this year. Chris Clayton got to sit down with Oregon's point guard, talking about this season and her development and where Oregon's at now coming into this stretch run. Chris Clayton and Katie Fiso.
Oregon star point guard Katie Fiso is in studio. We've been trying to schedule this for a while. I'm really happy that we got it done. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
It's been such a fun year for Duck fans.
Mhm.
I mean, the games have been close. They've been dramatic.
Man.
It's been mostly ups and a few losses here and there, but just all the close games. What's this experience been like this year, grinding through the Big Ten and having so many games come down to the fourth quarter?
Yeah, definitely a roller coaster. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Trying to maneuver those highs and lows, just trying to stay consistent, you know. But it's been a joy, you know, watching this team grow over the years. I mean, over the past couple of months. Like, it's been crazy, you know, the growth we've had on and off the court. And I'm excited. You know, we still got a couple more games left. And let's do it. I'm excited.
Well, you think about last year, had such a nice March, you know, when you got into the NCAA tournament, got to the second round. but your role wasn't as big on that team. This year, obviously, you're the point guard. You're playing upwards of 40 minutes in some of these games. What's it been like adjusting and being such a central piece to this year's team?
Yeah, definitely that the adjustment was like the leadership role. Like obviously last year I was, just from the bench, cheering on, encouraging my teammates. But I feel like stepping into this year's role, I've definitely had to do a lot more in the leadership role, whether that's telling my teammates where to go, directing them. I'm still learning, still trying to do a better job at that, leading my team. And it's been fun though. It's been like I said, a lot of highs, a lot of lows, but enjoying the process. Not getting too high, not getting too low. So.
And everybody wants to play, right? Last year I'm sure there were times you're like, God, I gotta get in the game. But what did you learn? Do you think spending a bit more time on the bench and playing behind somebody like Deja Kelly?
Yeah, I learned a lot from them. Like we would always work out together, me and Scotty, before the games and stuff like that. Nani, Deja, they had a lot of wisdom, So I was just being a sponge, learning as much as I can. They taught me a lot about pace and making the right reads. If somebody tags a roller, kickback's open. If someone tags the kickback, someone tags the roller, it's a drive to the lane. So it's basketball. I love basketball. It's so so complex, so many levels to this game, and just being that sponge last year has definitely helped me this year see the game more, see the game better. Obviously I'm still learning, but excited. So
well, you think back to yourself even in, let's say, November. What have you learned since then? What have you improved on just in the last couple months here this season?
I feel like definitely my playmaking ability, getting downhill, drawing two defenders, and finally kicking it out. I feel like early on in the season I would always go downhill and then try to take the shot, which at the time was probably not the right read. But now I'm learning from game to game. If I draw two, kick out. If they help strong side, that's boom, kickback. It's all those different reads, and just learning that as a point guard, learning the levels of the game. It's been definitely a process, but something I'm enjoying a lot. So.
And I wanted to ask you brought it up already, but your relationship with Peyton Scott. You were a teammate last year, and now she's a coach. And it seems like you guys spend a lot of time together going over film and player development stuff. What's it like having her as a coach now and helping you out?
It's great. It's great to have that relationship where it's it could be we could be goofing off because we still have that friendship from last year, but it's also she's in a different position where she's this is what you need to do. I see it from the different perspective, and she's helped me a lot both on and off the court. She was a person that I looked to when talking about when my dad, all that stuff happened, with my grandpa and stuff. She was that person who always checked on me. Even when I didn't text her back, she would always be that person, yo, you good? I'm she texts me. It's nah. But she's an amazing human being. She has such a feel for the game. She's so smart. She's been at all the levels. So, being a sponge again this year. So.
And that was another aspect of last year that you brought up. It was a lot to go through. It's been public and in the media and stuff. You lost your dad and lost your grandpa last season. What was that like trying to play through such tough personal loss?
Yeah, it was hard. It was definitely crazy life event that unexpectedly happened, but man, life goes on, and then life doesn't stop for anybody. So I just put my head down. I did what I had to do, grinded it out basically. That was my outlet. Basketball was my outlet, and it still is to this day. Every time I went to the gym, late night, early mornings, or anything, I would play music, get shots in, and just grind it out. Basically, that's all I had. That's all I know. Cause growing up, my dad instilled in me the power of hard work, being consistent in your work, being consistent in the discipline. You don't want to do it, but you got to, and if you want to be great, I hold myself to a high standard. So doing all that stuff, putting the work in, it definitely helped me to be where I am right now
Right.
So
when did you start playing basketball? What was your beginnings in basketball?
My beginnings in basketball, since I was a kid, really, I remember telling him this story before, but my dad would always take us to the YMCA to play with these older guys, these older men, and man, at first I would get roughed around, I'd get pushed around.
They didn't take it easy on you.
No, they didn't care. My dad would probably be telling them, don't take it easy on them. I'm okay, so, but as my game grew, I started to figure out the fundamentals, because they helped me a lot on my fundamentals. Playing with the older guys, they would always teach me how to jab step, shoot. I'm okay, I'm gonna take this. And then as I got a little faster, a little smarter at the game, I started to figure it out a little better, because we would go there every Saturday morning. It was this thing at YMCA, it was 6 in the morning on a Saturday. We would wake up so early.
Wow.
Sometimes I would hate it, but I am here now, and I like waking up at that time really doesn't bother me no more. So, but definitely I started at a young age.
Yeah,
so
it sounds like your dad helped instill, that type of work ethic and consistency. I don't think most kids are waking up at 6 a.m. for anything, nonetheless
Right.
to go grind at the gym with full-grown adults.
Right.
And it seems like I've heard about your work ethic, and I've seen it. You work really hard. Is that something that you still carry to today, that consistently, being a gym rat?
Yeah, definitely. I've carried that over the years. And anything I do, though, I try to stay consistent in everything I do, whether that is on the court, whether that's the schoolwork I do. Put in the hours in when no one sees, Sometimes, like, you put the work in, you don't get recognized, but who cares? You just got to keep doing it. It's that discipline, that consistency. And, like, I know that at the next level, if I want to be great, if I want to hold myself to the standard that I hold myself at, like, I got to do the little things. And that's in life, too, like, the little things in life, being consistent at what you do. If you want to be somewhere, you got to do all the little things, even when you don't want to. So
You've made such a big jump from your freshman to sophomore years. For maybe the young players that are watching or listening to this, what was your off-season plan like in terms of workouts and getting in the gym? How did you approach the off-season to make such a big leap this year?
Yeah, well, first definitely was getting in that weight room. I remember going in a couple of the games of my freshman year, and I'll just be getting just knocked to the floor, like just getting bumped, all that type of stuff. So one of the things that I really wanted to focus on and keying into was the weight room, getting stronger, a lot of like injury prevention stuff, because all that stuff is,
Yeah.
But and then just working on like the little things that I'm good at. Like, what is something I'm always like gonna go to is heavy, mid-range, and like just finishing through contact was also another thing I worked on. Working on finishing on balance, 2 feet, but those are really pretty much it.
Well, and it's paid off. You played a lot of minutes this year, fighting through it. It's been great.
It's cool to see and hear some of the development of Katie Fiso and how the journey started, because you could see her on the floor. She is shifty. She has a great handle, and she can get to the bucket. She moves differently. So it's no surprise to me that she was waking up at 6 a.m. every Saturday to get work in against some of the older guys around her community, because it really shows on the floor how much confidence and yet how much skill she has, especially with her ball handling and the fundamentals. Really cool to see from Katie Fiso. More coming from Oregon's point guard ahead of their game tonight against Purdue, coming up at 4 o'clock. Katie Fiso, more from her on the other side on Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like, it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
We are back inside the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union here on a Wednesday. Ryan Milano with you, getting you geared up for a basketball doubleheader. The men at Matthew Knight Arena tonight at 8 o'clock. The women on the road against Purdue at 4 o'clock. You heard the first part of the conversation with Chris Clayton and Katie Fiso and her development. There's still more coming from Oregon's point guard. Part 2 of the conversation between Chris Clayton and Katie Fiso.
I wanted to jump back a little bit to when you were developing in basketball. You went to Garfield High School. You won 3 state championships there. That is not something that's been done very often or in any state at a high level there with some really good players. So what was your favorite memory of being a championship-level player there in high school?
My favorite memory would definitely have to be my junior year high school when we won the state championship. Oh, yeah, that's when Trey was coaching, Trey Simmons.
Yes, current assistant in Oregon
who
now.
had, stepped up because something, had happened. And we didn't have a coach at that time. And he was on the men's side at that time. And we were like, yo, can you help out? And he was like, I'll try for the first game, see how it goes. And from there, I think we had, that kind of chemistry. I feel like we clicked like that. And from there, we won a lot of our games. And winning that state championship, it was so it was just surreal because it was the back-to-back. We were like, no one's ever – I feel like – actually, that has happened. But it was surreal at the moment. And I remember the joy I felt after because that year was – I had to grind that one out too.
Right. Well, that's cool that Trey Simmons is now at Oregon as well. So you've got – people around you that you're familiar with, Trey Simmons and Peyton Scott. What's it like having these people that you're so close to around you working with you?
Right, it's great, and it's a great feeling to have that sense of family community type of vibe, and knowing I can go to them whenever I need help, whether that's a good day or a bad day. I know they're always going to be there because they've known me for so long. They know my tendency. Sometimes I like to just be like, nah, don't talk to me, but they're always texting me yo, you good? Just going back on the fact that Scotty would always do that, and Trey always hits me after games that we've lost and it's you good, just shake back, just getting that reassurance is definitely helpful. So I'm thankful to have them in my circle. So
well, it sounds like you're maybe being self-deprecating, but you're saying you don't always respond to texts. Maybe you're not the greatest texter.
I'm working on it.
You responded to me, so
I did. See,
we'll take that. You build a name for yourself at Garfield High School. You've got a lot of different schools going after you, going into college. Why did you choose Oregon? What was it about playing for the Ducks?
It was just that sense of community that I felt once again. When Kelly first called me, I was really excited actually because I've always loved Oregon growing up as a kid. I remember just asking my mom for T-shirts, can I get this Oregon shirt? She's like, nah, don't do it. I'm like, okay. And then, but just that community and the belief that they had in me, we saw the same visions, we wanted the same things, and I know that Kelly's a very competitive person, and I also am a very competitive person, and just seeing that have a coach with that same mindset is great feeling. And like I said, just going back on the belief in them, I feel like they were the school that really wanted me. They really believed in my vision, believed in the vision for the program. And I was like, I'm not going to them Dogs, but I'm coming over here. Go.
So hold on, your mom wouldn't let you get the Duck shirts all the time.
Yeah.
Should we
sorry,
out her?
Sorry,
what's going on?
Dukes, I love you. If you see this, it's okay. It's okay. You didn't know.
What type of shirt would she prefer you got?
I remember I don't remember. Let me try and remember it. I just know it wasn't an Oregon shirt.
Okay. Well, at least we know you were in on the Ducks.
Hey, I've been
That's
riding.
Right. Well, that's amazing. So it's like a dream come true
exactly.
to suit up in an Oregon uniform. How cool. What was it? What was your favorite player? I assume you watched the teams with Sabrina.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sabrina. And then crazy story, actually, to sidetrack, I'm sorry, but going when Kelly was a coach at Gonzaga, my brother was actually a practice player for him.
Oh,
I'm saying my older brother, the oldest brother.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew of Kelly from there, but so it's kind of like a full circle moment, and it's kind of crazy, but yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm saying.
Yeah, and you have a lot of siblings, and a lot, I don't know, maybe all of them have ties to basketball, multiple college basketball players.
Yeah.
What were the games in the backyard with all those siblings? There's a total of 6 of you.
Oh, my goodness. Those would get wicked, let me tell you, because it would always be 3-on-3, 2-on-2, and then 1-on-1s, stuff, little stuff like that. But when it got to 3-on-3, oh, my. If there was no blood, there was no foul. We had a concrete floor. And there was sometimes there was little dips in there, so you had to watch where you were going, before you bust your ankle.
Yeah.
But I remember me and my twin brother would boom, like we would clash so much. Like we were over here, like banging with each other, and like we would talk smack. I remember he threw a ball at me one time.
Oh,
it was bad.
that's amazing.
But I think that's where I get my competitiveness from. Like that's where I get my gritty, like hard work. Like that's for the love of the game right there. That's what I do it for. Like that competitive fire is what I do it for. Like I love that drive. I love that feeling, you know.
Yep.
But
shout out to the Fisos.
Shout
and
out to
there's one of the other Fisos that you wanted to shout out, your older sister, right?
Oh yeah.
Just had a kid.
Emily, shout out to Emily and John. They had a kid, fourth kid.
So you're a 4-time aunt.
Yeah.
You're an expert already.
I'm saying, and when my sister, her first baby was born, like I stayed with her for like the first 3 months of that. So I was
cool.
really like, I learned some mommy duties. So.
Yeah, that's amazing. So pretty big age gap between you guys, because you have a younger sibling who's 16, correct?
Oh, no, I'm the youngest.
Ooh, you're the youngest. Okay.
I'm the youngest.
So
my
that's it.
twin brother. He's twin brother, and then sister Megan, who goes to Pepperdine.
Yes, and Megan currently plays at Pepperdine, right?
She's hooping right now.
Yeah,
she's killing it. So.
Do you have any other college basketball siblings?
No.
Just you and Megan.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. But basketball was always a big part of your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
When you are on a game day, what is if you have one, what's kind of your pregame ritual? How do you approach a game day?
Yeah, usually I like to wake up early, get into my word. I like to read my word a little early before the day starts, because that's my foundation. Like, if my foundation is shake, like, my whole day is messed up. Like, so I try to get my word, and then we usually have practice or shoot around and pregame meal. Sometimes if the pregame meal isn't good, I always like to go to Jersey Mike's.
Oh, okay.
It's not really one set like pregame. Like, I really like to just stay chill before the game, listen to my chill music. And then.
So that your approach is more of a chill music, not like hype music.
I'm saying I can't get too hype, because then I'm gonna be like, oh shoot, moving too fast.
Right. We had Ari Long in studio. She said the same thing.
Exactly.
Relax.
Chill,
music.
and then but like right before the game, I turn it up. I start bumping my music just a little bit, like, and then. But yeah, I really don't have like a specific pregame routine. But
what about on your off days? What are some of your hobbies? What do you like to do for fun?
Ooh, I love to just watch TV in my bed. I love anime. People don't know that about me, but I love watching anime. Let's see. I like going on walks sometimes, you know, because Oregon is a great nature vibe.
It is.
And then other than that, I like to just, hang with my cat too. Just chill in the crib.
Oh,
really.
you have a cat?
Yeah.
Okay.
His name's Yuki.
Yuki, nice.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, as you think about the rest of this season and coming down the stretch here, coming into March, what is going to be key for you and the team, do you think, to maximize what you've got and make a strong run?
I would say the biggest thing is just staying together and having that confidence in both themselves and just in each other, I feel like confidence plays a big role in this next league, because I've seen it in the summer, I've seen it in this like the fall time, like when we all click, we're the best team, like, no doubt. I say that with confidence, because I've seen it with my own eyes, and once we get that confidence in each other, confidence in themselves, like, no team can mess with us. I stand on that.
Yeah, and as we head to March, I remember last year, that game against Vanderbilt, you had a really good game there, a huge spark off the bench, and you were the one that – so they have the placard, right, the Oregon nameplate.
Yeah.
And ceremonial, you smack it on the board to advance the team, and you were the one that hit it to advance Oregon. That would look like an amazing moment.
That was a surreal feeling. That was crazy. Like, I remember during that game when – like, we were going on that run, and I was just kept going to that left side. I was just like, hey, if they can't stop it, I'm going to keep doing it. Like, I remember running back on defense and feeling this, like, ooh, like, something in my body. I was like, oh, it's time to turn up.
It's
like,
March Madness.
It's that March Madness feeling. If you know, you know. Like,
yeah.
But
well, hopefully that March Madness is ahead, too.
Definitely.
That was a special moment last year, and I think there's great things ahead for this team. Like you said, it seems like the best is still yet to come for what's a pretty young team overall. So it should be fun. Good luck. I think we learned a lot about you. Thank you so much for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
Loved hearing from Katie Fiso in her conversation with Chris Clayton and some of the sort of connections that she has to this Oregon coaching staff. One of the assistants was sort of interim high school coach for her, and her sibling played for Kelly Graves as a practice player all the way back at Gonzaga. It sort of felt right that Katie Fiso was looking for that Duck apparel growing up as a kid, and it makes sense. And we are certainly lucky to have Katie Fiso here for Oregon playing for the Ducks. And she'll be in action tonight. In just a few hours, actually. 4 o'clock on the road at Mackey Arena, Oregon versus Purdue in West Lafayette, Indiana. It's the second to last regular season game of the year for Oregon. They'll play this game at Purdue, and then they'll come back home on Sunday to play Washington in the regular season finale for Oregon. The Ducks, they've got a pretty strong resume thus far. Oregon sitting at 24th in the net. Ducks are 19-10 overall. Oregon has, I think, done the work enough to feel pretty safe about their at-large chances in the NCAA tournament, but certainly a win today, eliminating what could be a quad 3 loss, but also could be a quad 3 win for Oregon today against Purdue. I think that would be big for Oregon to secure their chances and really put the finishing touches on their resume coming in down the stretch run of this season. Oregon women's basketball in action at 4. Oregon men's basketball in action at 8 o'clock today at Matthew Knight Arena, going up against Wisconsin. And the Ducks are going up against a very talented Wisconsin team. This is the 4th to last game and the 2nd to last home game for Oregon this season. It's going to be Wisconsin tonight. Then they'll go on the road Saturday to play Northwestern. Stay on the road on Tuesday. They'll play Illinois, and then they will return back home. And again, it's going to be the Ducks versus the Dogs as the regular season finale for Oregon men's basketball as well, coming up on Saturday, March 7th. Oregon has been playing better ball, especially since Nate Biddle has come back. You flash back to when Biddle came back on February 7th against Purdue, a very close game against Purdue where the Ducks almost stole one on the road against the Boilermakers in the same arena that Oregon women's basketball is going to be playing in tonight. Then the Ducks went up against Indiana. The game got away from Oregon late, but that was certainly a competitive first half. The Ducks get the win against Penn State. The Ducks lose a little momentum against Minnesota in the second half after Oregon was pretty competitive with the Golden Gophers, especially defensively for a whole lot of that game. And the Ducks coming off of what is their best win of the season on the road against USC on Saturday, where Oregon had a 7-0 run to close the game and ended up winning 71-70. Just a little bit of momentum coming down the stretch run for Oregon men's basketball of this regular season, trying to improve seeding for the Big Ten tournament. It's going to be a long ride for Oregon if they are going to navigate through a few wins of the Big Ten tournament, but the Ducks could certainly position themselves in a more advantageous position with some wins to close out the regular season, as there's 4 for Oregon. 4 games for the Ducks coming up at the back end of this regular season tonight against Wisconsin. 8 o'clock at Matthew Knight Arena. Joey Max got you with a 7:30 pregame. A few honors dished down for Oregon athletics of current Duck athletes and former Oregon athletes. Getting to tell you about some stellar Ducks in their respective fields when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My
name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. You've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been to myself.
We're back inside the Country Financial Studio. It's Duck Insider, brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Ryan Milano with you, talking about some honors dished down for Ducks of current and old, as well as Oregon track and field legend Leanne Warren has been announced as a member of the 12-person class of the upcoming 2026 USTFCCCA Collegiate Athlete Hall of Fame. Announced on Tuesday, Warren joins previous Oregon inductees Steve Prefontaine in 2022 in the inaugural class, Daryl Burleson in 2023, Bill Dellinger in 2024, and Joaquin Cruz in 2025. So the fifth Duck getting inducted into the USTFCCCA Collegiate Athlete Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Leanne Warren, a 4-time national champion, a 10-time All-American, and a former collegiate record holder during a standout career in Eugene. The Hall of Fame class will be enshrined on Sunday, June 7th at the Holt Center in Eugene, and the ceremony will be open to the public and be held 3 days prior to the NCAA championship. So in Eugene, an opportunity to get to honor one of the best Ducks in their field and a 4-time national champion. Also in Oregon acrobatics and tumbling, Ashlyn Parlett this week won the NCATA Athlete of the Week after leading Oregon to the win over Quinnipiac over the weekend. The Ducks will be back in action in Acro coming up on Saturday, February 28th, going up against Baylor on the road in Texas. I'm hitting the road with Oregon baseball tomorrow, which means that Joey and Chris will have you tonight, women and men's basketball doubleheader.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind.